Welcome to the Anatomy, Physiology, and Biology webinar. Okay, so we are going to do one webinar to kind of explain about these two courses. All right, if you can put in the chat and tell me which one of the courses are you registered or are you thinking of registering. If you haven't decided yet, maybe hopefully this webinar will help you decide which is best for me, the anatomy and physiology course or the biology course. Okay, let me start by giving you kind of a little overview of the website. So hopefully each one of you has an account, okay, in our website. We have really a great lineup of courses here. It's really a great blessing. So let me tell you a little bit about the website. The homepage, okay, is kind of the place where we make all the main announcements for events and things that are happening here. That would be here under the homepage. If you want to chat with someone specifically, you can come here to the chat and start a new chat. You can, start a chat and search for someone. Let's see, Kovia, okay. So I have here Emmeline. This is probably your mom's account, Tara, isn't it? Okay. So you need to have your own account, all right? So, and so make sure that you register under your account for these courses. Elijah, you are doing both of them, anatomy, physiology, and biology. That is awesome. That is great. Okay, I know Elijah already. So you are going to do great. So that is the chat. This little icon here that looks like a bell is kind of the notifications for anything that happens, that is part of your course or something like that. You will be notified in here. Under the icon here of your picture, I really would encourage you to put a picture of yourself, all right? And I want a good picture of yourself so I can actually see, you. Some people put a picture of their pet or of themselves when they were babies. That is not very helpful for me, really. Okay, so make sure that you put a good picture. And also another thing that is important is in your account, okay, when you do the profile part, you can put information about yourself and make sure that you put your location, where you are from. This is not a whole lot of personal information. This is just the town where you are from. And the reason for that is because here in the members menu, you can actually look for the members near you. So you can actually find out who are other members in the academy that work, that live close by you. And we have a lot of people right in American Fork and so on, right close by, okay? So if you want to find, are there other students or families close to me, that is what you do. You go and you need to put your location that way, okay? Another very important link is here, the info and links link. So this menu option, this one here has information about the school year. So we have the weekly schedule, okay? The weekly schedule with all the classes and the yearly calendar with, again, all the times when classes start on the 28th of August, so in a couple of weeks, and we finish on the 24th of May. And we have also all the holidays marked for when we don't have classes, okay? So very important part. This is also a critical video, how to register for the courses. So make sure that you and parents watch this video, okay, to make sure that you register correctly in the courses. All right. Once you are registered for one of the courses, here we have anatomy and physiology and biology, you will be able to see, okay, the overview of the course, and then you can also see week one. So week one is already open and is available. In fact, you can actually see the week one and the course overview before you register for the course. Okay, so you can actually peruse those and be able to watch the videos and see what the assignments are and so on before you decide which class to register for. So I'm going to open here the biology course. So we have one open in biology and one in anatomy and physiology. So this is the biology course, and we are going to start with the study of life. Okay, so this is going to be the first week. We have a video introducing the course, and then the required textbook is this textbook called Concepts of Biology. It's actually it's a very, very good textbook, and it's very economical. You can buy it from different places, but one of them, the publisher, is this place called OpenStack. Okay, an OpenStack gives you the capability of using the textbook online. You can download a PDF of the textbook, or you can order a print copy. I highly recommend that you order a print copy of the textbook, because that is going to be a lot easier to read, than reading everything online and so on. And again, it's not very expensive. The hardcover, you have from $25 to $29, the hardcover edition of this book. So really, really economical and very, very good textbook. All right. In the anatomy and physiology course, in the anatomy and physiology course, the textbook that we are going to use is this one. All right. So I have the link here. Okay, in this, and this one goes to Amazon, and it's also very economical. Okay, $13.59. So this is the textbook. It's actually really, really good, and it's a coloring book, because that is actually one of the best ways of learning anatomy, is actually by coloring and being able to get to know the human body and the different parts by exploring the human body in coloring. Okay, so those are the two textbooks that we have for the courses. Any questions so far about this, what we have discussed so far? Are we okay? Yeah. All right. Good. So now, the question is, what's the difference between anatomy, physiology, and biology? Okay, what's the difference between those three? So I'm going to actually share with you kind of an example to help you see and understand the difference between these three terms. Okay, and in order to do that, I'm going to get my cell phone. All right, so here I have my cell phone. All right, and so if we think of the cell phone, what is the anatomy of the cell phone? Anatomy is basically comes from the word ana and tomos. Okay, it's the Greek words. The prefix ana is kind of like the list of, all right, or the numbering of, and then tomos means parts. okay, the parts of something. So anatomy is really talking about what are the parts of a thing. So if we are looking at the phone, we have the screen, we have the home button here in this model, we have a power button on the side. I have two buttons, one for the volume up and down. I have here a port to connect to something else, to a speaker or something like that. And I have actually in my phone, I have a cover to protect it. All right. And I have this other thing. What are these things called? Pop sockets. There we go. So the anatomy of something is basically to identify all the parts and the names of those parts. So we have a screen, cover, pop socket, home button, the power input for the cable, the power button, the volume buttons, and so on. So anatomy is learning the parts of things. Physiology is now understanding what are these parts good for? What do they do? Okay. And so what's the physiology of this pop socket? What is the physiology of these things that we put on the phones? What is that for? Is it just, I play with it a lot. I put it in and out all the time. Eliza?
It helps you hold it.
Yes, so it helps you hold it, so you don't have to, just put it this way. You can put it between your fingers, okay, to hold it. All right, hold it this way, whatever. Okay, so it's kind of for holding that. The pop socket itself has different parts, all right? So it has one part that kind of glues to the phone cover, and another part that kind of goes in and out. And then it has also another cover here. Usually you can put a sticker or something to make it look like yours, So, but the physiology of it is really for holding it. Okay. What is the physiology of the phone cover? What is the physiology of the phone cover of that? I also have a little thing, a film on top of the screen that is kind of glued there to the screen. What would be the physiology of that? Elijah says to protect the phone. There you go. Yes. And this phone cover has actually protected this phone several times. Many times I have dropped the phone and everything. And always when I pick it up, I'm like, is it okay? Yeah. Oh, the phone cover worked. Okay. So you see, very, very important to know what are the parts and then what is the physiology of it. Okay. So now the next question that I have is, so now we know about anatomy, we know about physiology, but what would be the biology part? All right. Well, biology is basically knowing how things work internally in the sense of specifically the science of biology is the study of life. But we are going in biology to study the ins and outs of living organisms. This is similar to going inside the phone and actually opening the phone and being able to understand what are all the parts inside the phone. What do they do? How do they work? How is the phone program and so on? Can you see that, all of us, most of us use a phone. We know about the anatomy and the physiology of the phone, but we don't know almost anything about the biology of the phone. Okay. All right. I don't know much about what is going on inside. I know that it works. Okay, I use it. I can call, I can watch videos, I can send messages, and so on. But how that actually works is now getting into the study of the internal side of things. And that is kind of what the biology course is going to do related to living organisms. We are going to look into the chemistry of life. Let me share the screen, okay, to show you a little bit more about that course and what we have in each week. So we are going to talk about what is life, the chemistry of life. So we are going to do a whole unit on organic chemistry, water and carbon, all the different things that the structure of these chemicals, nucleic acids and proteins, and then learning how things work in the cell, the parts of the cells, organelles, membranes, and then how these things work to produce energy and respiration, photosynthesis, all sorts of different things, but looking really now internally at how living organisms work. Okay, so that is basically the biology course. This is a quite an intense course. It's a high school level, all right, and it's going to require a lot of reading. You are going to be asked to take notes of everything that you study for each week. So for example, here I have the assignment for week 23, and each week I'm going to give you a reading section from the textbook, and then you make notes in your notebook about what you have learned and studied for that week. Then you take pictures of your notes, put them into one file, and you share your file here with me in the chat for that lesson. So that is how you turn things in for the biology course. Okay. In the anatomy and physiology course, we are going to study all the different systems of the human body. And so we are going to study mainly from this textbook. Okay, let me stop the sharing. And we are going to follow the textbook, basically. Some of the topics are going to be too much in depth for us, so I'm going to leave them as optional pages for you to do. So if you are really interested in everything anatomy, if you want to really pursue this kind of consider this as a career in the future, you can do all the pages in the textbook going into details. If not, I'm going to tell you which are the minimal required pages for you to do. And so then once you color your textbook, you also take pictures of what you have done and put those pictures into one PDF file and submit that as your assignment to me, so I can give you feedback and you can share what you are learning. Okay? So that is basically what we are going to be doing in anatomy, physiology, and then the study of biology. So depending on which course you take, you are going to be doing one, the other, and I guess that some of you are going to be doing both. So that is fine too. I would probably say, sometimes people ask me, which course would you recommend? Okay. And I would probably say that the anatomy and physiology course comes first. Okay. It's a little bit more basic. the biology course, like I said, is a little bit more in depth and is more advanced. All right. So depending on where your interest is and your age or maturity level and so on, I would recommend probably taking the anatomy and physiology course first and then biology. But if you have already registered for biology, you are just fine. Okay, it's a fantastic course, and we are going to talk a lot about very important topics. Another thing that we are going to use for the biology course. Oh, let me go and get this book really fast. Sorry, I thought that I had this here. But we are going to also be reading this book here, Revelation Through Science, by James G. Martin. It's actually really a very interesting book that is going to help us to understand the relationship between science and religion. Okay. But it's not a religious book, really. It is really a science book. So, but it's going to be very helpful in helping us understand the theory of evolution and the relationship between that and faith. Any questions about classes and how things work? Marcy, go ahead.
Was the Revelation Through Science book for the anatomy or for the biology or both?
I'm going to actually be using it for the biology course, okay, this year.
Looks so good.
Oh, it is really, really good. Yes. I wish we would have used it last year, but I didn't know about it last year.
I'm going to read it anyway.
Yes. Yeah, Marcy was in the biology course last year. Anything else, Marcy, that you would like to add as a former student of the biology course? Something that you may want to tell these future students, maybe.
Sure. Yeah, I loved. Oh, I'm still. I just feel like it really awakened a deep appreciation for creation, all of creation. And I find myself thinking about the things I learned often there. And it was a lot of work for me as a mom, especially being so busy with so many things, but it was worth every minute. I'm excited for my daughter to take anatomy now. I guess it will be
Excellent.
easier.
Yes. Yeah. And by the way, these courses are open both for young students or more mature students. Okay, Marcy took the biology course as a mom, and yeah, it was great to have you in class. And I had your children in the geometry course and in physics also. Okay, so this year they are doing anatomy, and what else? What else? And geometry. Okay, great, excellent. So fabulous experience. But yeah, so the main one thing to remember is that in this class, in these courses, you should plan to study the material for the class before you come to class. Okay. And so, for example, if we look again here into week one, let's say of, anatomy and physiology, you should study, watch the videos and study everything here for week one before the first day of class that is on August 28th. So next week, the week from August 21st to the 25th, is when you are going to be studying here week one. Okay, the same thing for the biology course. Okay, if you are doing biology, then I want you to start studying here biology before the first week of class. Okay, so that is kind of how these courses work. They are is a strategy that is called the flipped classroom strategy. Okay, so you study first and then come to class ready to share what you have learned and studied previously. Okay, and ask questions, share information, and so on. So your assignments are due before the class time. Okay. And I appreciate if you turn them in a couple of days before, so you give me time to actually look at them and give you feedback on the assignments. Okay, excellent. And I see here the Giffords. Hello. Hi. All right. Which classes are you taking this year?
Yeah. I'm taking the anatomy and physiology, and Kale and Blaze are taking the biology.
Awesome. Great. Good deal. All right. There's a question here. Okay. Is your daughter helping you teach these courses? So my daughter appears there as an instructor because she is helping me to put together the course. Okay, so because of that, I had to give her kind of the editing rights. Okay, and so she's there that way. She may help me to do some of the feedback, okay, of looking at your assignments and so on. But I'm the one that is going to be doing most of the teaching. So I'm responsible for the classes and everything. Let's see, Delilah is asking, what about the other anatomy and physiology workbook? That is a good question. So in the anatomy and physiology class, the video here that I share, I talk about two textbooks. This one, okay, so this one here, that is very, very good and in-depth. And then I'll talk in the video about this other one. And I was actually thinking of maybe having this available for younger students. But actually, when I ordered the book and I started looking into it, I thought, this is really good, but it's actually very, very elementary. Okay. And so depending on the maturity or the age of your students, they may want to use this one, but I probably recommend that all the students use this one. All right. So now, if you have, let's say, a middle school age student, or you have some elementary age students that also like to watch the videos, and kind of participate in the class and so on. So if you have young children, kind of fourth grade level and below, then you can probably get this one for them, and they can use and color this book as they go along with their siblings. All right. But for the students that are registered in the class, this is actually the textbook that I recommend. Okay. Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah. So almost everyone should be with this one. All right. If you have some young ones that want to also color, you can get this one. This one is also very cheap and it's very small, but they can also color that way and feel part of the experience. Mm-hmm. All right, excellent. What do you do if you have a question about the assignment during the week? Excellent question. So the best way to get any question answered that way is through the chat. Okay. And so let me share with you what you do here. So you can go to the course, all right? And here on the top corner, you click on the that icon, and then you search for Pablo, all right? And so then you can start a new chat with Pablo Riboldi, and that's me. And so that will go and basically ping me that you have a question. Okay. So that is kind of how you do it. All right. So if you have, and I try to answer chat messages very often. Okay. And so that will be the best way to get hold of me during the week. Okay. If you get stuck. Sometimes if you get really stuck, I'm going to ask you to schedule a Zoom meeting with me. So I may send you a Calendly link, okay, to do a 15-minute one-on-one meeting. All right. And then I'll send you the link through the chat, and we can schedule a time to meet so I can actually see what is going on your side and whatnot, and then help you that way. All right. So that is the idea there. In the anatomy and physiology class, we are going to be using videos from myself, videos that I've recorded about anatomy and physiology. And also we are going to look at one channel that I really, really enjoy that is called the Institute of Human Anatomy. Okay, and that is also a very interesting channel, and it goes actually quite in depth. The guys that teach those videos actually work at a university in a forensics lab, and they do, they teach anatomy and physiology with cadavers and so on. So it's the closest that we are going to get to that. We are going to do some dissections during the course. So at some point in the course, I'm going to ask you to buy some chicken, okay, pieces, or some heart, a cow heart, or something like that. And then we are going to be doing some dissections also of those and studying those with hands-on things. And for those dissections, I'm going to ask you to record videos, all right? So you may need to recruit the help of a sibling or one of your parents to hold the camera while you do your dissection and recording what you are doing, okay? In biology, we do some experiments. In the biology course, we have done growing our own yogurt, baking bread, homemade bread, sourdough bread. We have done also some other composting and other things, sauerkraut or pickle foods and so on. All those are kind of ways of applying the things that we learn in biology to food preservation and other areas. Okay. The dissections are for the anatomy class. Yes. Yeah, absolutely.